One of their most stunning performances of the season, scored 5 times against St Mirren and snatched the championship on goal difference. The first time this has happened in the story of the Premier League. An unbelievable end to the season for the Parkhead fans, whose joy at the full-time whistle, as you can see, was matched only by the sheer delight of the Celtic players and staff.
90 crucial minutes for Celtic begin with a huge Celtic support in the terraces, perhaps around 18,000 inside Love Street for this, the final league match of the season, and Celtic with the highest possible stakes. St Mirren coming out something in the role of bridesmaids this afternoon, but speaking Gallically before the match, there's no question they're very determined to make life difficult for Celtic. St Mirren doing without 2 key players. Steve Clark, the defender, is out, and the World Cup hopeful goalkeeper Campbell Money is out of the side. The replacement is Jim Stewart for St Mirren, and Brian Hamilton wears number 4. It's our first look at him in Scotsport. 18-year-old midfield player, and a man I'm assured with a very big future. Push in the back by Godfrey on McClair. McGrain's free kick, looking for Johnston. Cover was provided by Derek Hamilton for St Mirren. McGrain with the throw. Johnston challenged in the end by Hamilton, but once again Celtic have a corner kick. Owen Archdeacon again going across, taking them on both flanks for Celtic. Paul McGugan joining the Celtic attack. And a great header by Brian McClair. 6 minutes gone, and McClair does it again for Celtic. Well, it couldn't have been simpler or more effective. In-swinger from Archdeacon, McClair with a run towards the near post, a powerful header, and Stewart was left stranded. Oh, what a start for Celtic. Ryan McClair, such a key man for them up front this season, making his presence pay once again, and the huge Celtic support celebrating in style. Still Archdeacon, and a good tackle by Godfrey, kept his eye on the ball. And he's found McGarvey with the clearance. Fitzpatrick returning it. Tommy Burns intercepts. Archdeacon is onside this time. McClair and Johnston waiting in the middle. St Mirren trying to get defenders back. There's Johnston. Brilliant save by Stewart. Turned away in the end by Abercrombie. But it was Archdeacon who beat the offside trap. Now this high cross falls beautifully for Johnston. Powerful header, and there goes Stewart to his left. And Abercrombie played that against the post, in fact, before out for the corner. Good challenge by Fitzpatrick, but it's picked up by Paul McStay. Misunderstanding with McLeod, allowing Fitzpatrick to win possession for St Mirren. Good tackle by McGrain. Free kick's been given against Billy Abercrombie. The Celtic players suggesting that they would have been happy to accept the advantage. Hamilton's header straight to McClair. Now Johnston. Paul McStay. Good cross. Johnston's there. Couldn't get enough of the header. Frustration for Mo Johnston. But a good piece of play out on the right by Paul McStay. This is a fine angle cross with the left foot. Johnston trying to get more on the header, and Stewart happy to see it go wide. McGugan's clearance. Abercrombie looking for Gallagher at the edge of the box. McGarvey going to the ball with White. Youngster not being tempted into anything rash, and McGarvey turned it away for the Celtic goal kick. Godfrey's header, McGarvey's free on the right. Chance now for St Mirren. Coming inside, White. Fine save initially by Bonner, and Gallagher's header deflected over for a corner kick. But McGarvey almost making his former teammates pay. The headed clearance from Godfrey. McGarvey getting in behind White, checking inside, and this is a splendid save from Pat Bonner. Over the top with a deflection, that's why it's a corner kick. Billy Abercrombie trying to set up the in-swinger, wind assisted. An awkward one for Bonner. And he got a vital touch to the ball with McGarvey hovering right behind him. Well, just see how close this was. The ball swerving in the wind. Bonner at full stretch. There was McGarvey waiting, and Bonner's touch was good enough. McClair with a touch on towards Johnston, 1-on-1, but Godfrey's done well to stall the progress of Johnston. Here's Tommy Barnes. Well gathered by Stewart to prevent the corner kick. Garvey set flick, played back by McGugan. McClair doing well, winkling the ball free to McStay. Here's Mo Johnston. It's there! Mo Johnston, the Celtic fans' hero. 52 minutes of the first half gone, it's 2-0 to Celtic, and it was brilliantly set up by this pass from Paul McStay. Johnston with one thought in his head, racing in and goal. The power beat Jim Stewart, and Celtic are now 2 ahead. So Mo Johnston with his 20th of the season, and Jim Stewart looking a little bit disappointed. No doubt feels he should have kept that out. The Celtic choir now in full voice, depending of course on the events at Dens Park, but as long as Celtic can win by 3 clear goals, they can do no more than hope that Dundee do the rest. Abercrombie into space, McGrain with a delicate ball to Murray McLeod. Here's Paul McStay. Finding Aiken, now McGrain, Celtic in full cry now as McClair gets free on the right. There's Johnston. Absolutely magnificent. One of the goals of the season. Set up inside the Celtic half, a final ball from McGrain releasing Brian McClair. His pace and the final pass to Johnston was perfect, and Stewart this time completely helpless. So Mo Johnston gets his second of the match. Celtic are 3 up. And how the Celtic fans are enjoying this with just 11 minutes of the first half left. What an opening burst from Celtic. McClair, cleared by Cooper. There's Brian Gallagher. Picked up by Abercrombie, and Brian Hamilton had a chance now for St Mirren on his own. Off the line by White. Well, Brian Hamilton, I'm sure, thought he'd done enough. Great pass this from Abercrombie. Brian Hamilton not picked up at the edge of the box, and the shot blocked on the line by White. Now Paul McStay. This is vintage stuff now from Celtic. Clearance by Godfrey, and then on by Gallagher. The cross goes Aiken once again. pass is intercepted by Derek Hamilton. Here's McGarvey. Abercrombie. McGrain. Nora McLeod. Barnes. No question about it, Celtic are certainly playing like champions. Archdeacon testing Tom Wilson. Makes his way to the byline. Here's Nora McLeod, now McStay. 4-0 to Celtic. Paul McStay thundering in goal number 4. It was down to the creative play of Archdeacon on the left. Now look at the way he gets away from Wilson, holds off the challenge. Now the dummy from Nora McLeod. How about this for a thunderous finish? Stewart never moved. Paul McStay got that one right on the meat and enjoyed the feel of his 9th goal of the season. Jim Stewart must be feeling shell-shocked. Johnston. McClure is on his own for the moment. Now supported by McGrain. So the end of an incredible period of 45 minutes with Celtic at their very best. They started in 6 minutes with a flashing header from Brian McClure from Archdeacon's corner kick. Then Mo Johnston went through on the right of Paul McStay's pass. Then the best developed goal of the 4 in the first half, set up and finished in the end by Mo Johnston. And then when Archdeacon made his way to the byline, pulled it back for Nora McLeod's dummy, it was Paul McStay who thundered in his own candidate for goal of the season to make it at half-time here at Love Street. St Mirren 0, Celtic 4. Start the second half, and news of course has reached the Celtic fans inside Love Street. The half-time position at Dens Park, where there are no goals at the moment, so they have certainly enjoyed that first half from Celtic to the full. 4 goals and some sparkling play from midfield, and of course up front with Johnston and McClure and Archdeacon. Brian Gallagher wins the corner kick off White. Up goes Godfrey again. You see Brian McClure going back to mark the central defenders, Cooper and Godfrey of St Mirren. Regularly while Abercrombie respots the ball. Bonner's committed, colliding with one of his own colleagues. Fitzpatrick back to Abercrombie. Headed away by Aiken. Powerful shot by Godfrey, and Mackey can't get it past Pat Bonner. Great save from Bonner, he's taken a knock. Set up by Abercrombie on the right. Fine out-swinging cross, nodded on by Aiken. Godfrey kept the shot down well. There was Mackey, and Bonner's courage saved the day for Celtic. So Bonner is fit to resume in goal as Abercrombie's corner comes over. And a fine save again from Bonner, this time from Neil Cooper. Well, Bonner certainly earning his bonus. Corner kick from Abercrombie. Neil Cooper's powerful header, and Bonner at full stretch to beat it out superbly. There's Bonds. Now McStay. Through the middle for McClure to chase. Which he does willingly as always. Derek Stewart's throw out, which starts an attack. Here's Fitzpatrick. White to McStay. Someone trying to play Celtic offside. We failed. Here's Johnston. Now Nora McLeod. McClure!
a tinge of good fortune. McStay beat the offside trap. Johnston hanging back, going forward, playing it back to McLeod. Tried a shot for goal, miscued completely, and McClare took advantage of the ball landing at his right knee.
Gordon McLeod misjudged the pass. Brian Gallagher still on the ground after a challenge from McGugan. That's for Brian Hamilton. All running away from him rather. So we'll have to start the build-up again. Burns is in the way. And Brian Hamilton checked out of the foul, and Tommy Burns very sensibly. Burns trying to pick up a run from Roy Johnston. And it's Johnston who's tackling Jim Stewart. But there's a serious problem, I fear, for Brian Gallagher inside the centre circle. There's the St Mirren striker. Never got up after the challenge from Paul McGugan in the air. It looked as though he landed awkwardly on that left ankle. Well, here's the incident which caused the problem. There's Gallagher going up. McGugan won it from him. There's Gallagher going down, stumbling awkwardly, and that's what did the damage. The stretcher has arrived, but the referee helping to carry Gallagher off. Well, a very sad sight always. Any player leaving the field in such circumstances. Complete accident, but it takes Brian Gallagher out of the match, and it's a very sad end to the season for him. It is Gardner Spears who's coming on.
The main substitute is Gardner Spears in for Brian Gallagher.
Turned back by Aiken again to Bonner. The player's header picked up by Neil Cooper, and the major question I think here at Love Street on the field is whether or not McClare or Johnston can get a hat-trick. Splendid way to end the league season. Here's Tommy Burns in space. McClare and Johnston waiting in the middle. Couldn't get it beyond Jim Stewart, and it's turned behind by Godfrey to the corner. Another beautiful pass forward. Burns sprinting into space, shooting it against the legs of Stewart, and turned behind by Godfrey. We're back with Tom Wilson. Brian Hamilton's on the right flank. Trying to check in inside Archdeacon. It's back with Wilson. The angled cross, a chance for St Mirren, and again it's Pat Bonner. He's Gardner Spears with a header. Well, there was a flag up for offside, I think, but that doesn't detract in any way from the goalkeeping of Bonner. Wilson stepping inside Aiken. The angled cross, the header from Spears. Bonner saved, didn't count in the end, but some great play from Bonner. And the applause greeting the early departure of Danny McGrain. The replacement is Peter Grant. Tremendous applause there for McGrain as he came off. Paul McStay. Well, Stewart needed 2 bites. Now that must be a goal for Dundee. Sheer bedlam around the stadium. Well, you don't need to hear any more news than that. Dundee clearly has scored at Dens. And let's lift off here at Love Street. Oh, what incredible scenes. Celtic supporters rejoicing. The radios have given the news. There's the news from the dugout. 1-0 has
Here's the layoff. And there's the final whistle. Celtic have won by 5-0. Andy McGrain goes on to convey the news of the position at Dens Park. The Celtic supporters invade the field, but still no news at all from Dens to confirm the final whistle is gone, although surely now it's on their formality to hear that Celtic have won the league championship in the most dramatic fashion.
David Hay, Celtic have won the Premier League title in dramatic circumstances. How on earth do you feel?
I think a miracle has happened today, because after the season we've had, whereby we had a bit of different form, like, and then towards the end there, about 2 months ago, we just played to hang in, like, but their players have been exceptional the last 6 weeks, and all credit to the players for winning the championship.
What on earth did you tell your players before today's game? Because they played in spectacular form, didn't they?
First off, we felt that we could win there and get the goals to do it, like, but at half-time what I felt was we heard that Dundee were winning 1-0, and then there was a wee bit of lapse in the whole atmosphere here, but fortunately Dundee got the 2 goals at the end.
Could you honestly believe it was within your capabilities today to pull it off?
Yes and no, I felt we could do it, but we still had to hope for Hearts to beat, and that happened.
What about this support? They went mad at the full-time whistle, didn't they?
Well, no, just now. They're the best in the land. I've always said this. They've supported us through the lean times this season, kept their faithful support going, and pleased for them as much as for Celtic, the club.
You're a quite unassuming chap, David Hay. Will you have a bit of a party tonight?
I'll have a few drinks, I think.
Well done, well done.
Thanks very much.
And the celebrations continue despite the steady downpour of rain. None of these Celtic supporters have noticed the difference, and I'm sure the players feel exactly the same. Well, these are the happy scenes which looked impossible just about a week ago, but in a tremendous finish to the season, Celtic going 14 league games undefeated. They've come through in the end to win on the last possible day of the season, with just minutes left when they got the news from Dens Park about Dundee beating Hearts. The celebrations began, they've been going on ever since. The rain teeming down, and the Celtic players now going right round the stadium in their lap of honour. And on the performance this afternoon, they're certainly worthy champions.
At the moment, it's very hard to believe. This is all season, we've just been hanging in there. We said 8 games ago, if we won 8 out of 8, we thought we'd win the league. Well, we won 8 out of 8. But I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, it's a fairy tale. It's like a book. So it is.
What about today? You needed to win by 3 clear goals. I mean, did you expect to score as many as 5?
We knew we had to get out and score goals. I mean, that's what Celtic are best at, getting out and scoring goals. I mean, it's that support behind us. We couldn't fail to score 5. They went a bit quiet in the second half, waiting for Dundee to score. But what a roar from Dundee to score.
Tremendous. Well done, Roy.
Thanks very much.
This is mayhem. Bob McStay, Celtic have lifted the Premier League in the most dramatic circumstances. Can you believe it?
I just can't believe it at all. I always knew we had a chance of winning it. No, Dundee done the job for us, but that was always a bit unpredictable. I knew we would go out and beat St Mirren with a few goals. We went and done it. We were backing these guys here, we've done it. And I'm just glad to say we won the championship. It's been unbelievable.
What do you make about this? Absolute chaos.
It's mental, but I think they all deserve it. They do. It's their day.
What are you going to do tonight, Paul?
I think I'll go and have a wee drink, maybe. Celebrate.
Well done.
Thanks, Jim.
What amazing scenes and what a remarkable match, and our besieged reporter was Jim White. Well, even so, you have to feel...
Scottish Cup final at Hampden Park, Glasgow. Who'll make the headlines this time?
The header from McGalvey! Frank McGalvey! 2-1 to Celtic.
To find out who walks up the famous Hampden stairs first this year, join us for a story of the big game, Hearts against Aberdeen, next Saturday at 2:30.
And we'll have highlights at half-time and full-time from the FA Cup final at Wembley. Everton against Liverpool. Can Everton win it this time?
The goal! Right side! That's incredible!
Everton Everton miss out, and now Kenny Dalglish bids to do something no other Liverpool manager has ever done, win both league and cup in the one season. One goal could make history.
For the second year running, Pollock are back at Hampden Park in the final of the Scottish Junior Cup. This year their opponents are the Pride of Ayrshire, Auchinleck Talbot. Last year it was Petershill.
1-0 to Pollock.
So it's Glasgow against Ayrshire in junior football's match of the year.
Before Scotland play Denmark in their opening match of the World Cup, we'll be showing in late May 4 in a row the remarkable story of how Scotland qualified for the last 4 World Cup competitions. West Germany, Argentina, Spain, wherever the Scots go, their fans are sure to follow. Now it's Mexico, and we'll be there too, of course.
Scotland will prepare for Mexico's football fiesta by spending a fortnight in the American town of Santa Fe. And it's from there that we'll be presenting a Scotsport film special, Up, Up and Away. After Santa Fe, it's all about the World Cup.
And ITV's live coverage of the World Cup begins on June the 1st with Spain against Brazil, the 82 hosts against the side who won it here in 1970. Brazil will be favourites, but maybe it's worth remembering that they haven't won the World Cup since this victory in 1970 in Mexico City.
Scotland's open.
4 days later, we have a sporting double-header for you, a preview of Scotland's all-important second game against Franz Beckenbauer's West Germany, being played later that evening in Querétaro, and the 1974 winners are getting close to their best form. And from Old Anniesland, the Shinty match, which is the World Cup, the Scottish Cup and the Premier League all rolled into one, the Camanachd Cup final. This year's venue is Old Anniesland in Glasgow, and they'll be coming from all over Scotland for this one.
And on June 14th, our outside broadcast cameras are at Meadowbank Stadium in Edinburgh. As the countdown to the Commonwealth Games speeds up, we'll have highlights of the Scottish Amateur Athletic Championships. For some, it will be the last chance to catch the selectors' eyes.
The Scottish PGA Championship breaks new ground this year at Glenbervie, when Sam Torrance defends the title.
The best of sport, and also our World Cup coverage still to come. From all of us, goodbye for the present.